Hello, hello, hello. Well, wrong one. There we go. There's the book. Okay, now we can see it. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Hope you're all doing well today. Today we're going to be reading something new. Well, not sort of. Yeah, basically. This is the Andalite Chronicles. It's a sort of special, longer book in the Animorph series that serves as a prequel to stuff that happened already. So this is long before all the main books happened. Yes, like new, but old, but also new. Yes, hello Volk, hello Kirby, hello Drac, hello Saku, hello everyone. If you're curious, yes, this is FTL music playing in the background. That's what I'm going to be using for a lot of it, probably. Hello Viriday, good to see you as well. Always good to see you. Welcome, welcome, friends. So, the Andalite Chronicles, as you can see, there's a part 1, which means there's more than one part of the book in general, but there's a prologue, then 16 chapters, part 2, 30 chapters, 32 chapters, part 3. So yeah, there's 49 chapters to this. So, as you could imagine, this probably ain't gonna be finished in one go. Oh no, oh no. Hopefully the reading won't be impeded by me constantly. Anyway, Part 1, Elfangor's Journey, Prologue. My name is Elfangor. I am an Andalite prince, and I am about to die. My fighter is damaged. I have crashed landed on a source of a planet called Earth. I believe my great dome ship has been destroyed. I fear my little brother Axilmi is already dead. We didn't expect the Yeerks to be in such force. We made a mistake. We underestimated the Yeerks. Not for the first time. We would defeat their pool ship and its fires. There's a blade ship as well, the blade ship of Visitor 3. 2 Yeerk work fighters are laying on either side of me now. The abomination Visitor 3 is here as well. I can feel him. I can sense his evil. I cannot defeat him in single combat. I'm weak from my injuries, too weak to morph, too weak to fight. This is my Hirak Dalest, my final statement. I have formed a mental link to the ThoughtSpeak transponder in my fighter's computer. I'll record my memories for the Yeerks annihilate all trace of me. If this message someday reaches the Andalite homeworld, let the truth be known. I am called a great warrior, a hero, but there is a great deal no Andalite knows about me. I have not lied, but I have kept the truth a secret. This isn't my first visit to Earth. I spent many years here, and yet, no time at all. I land here now in this trust site because I was looking for a great weapon, the Time Matrix. The existence of this weapon is also a secret. So many secrets in my life. Mistakes, things I should have done. All the strands of my strange life seem to be coming together. It seems inevitable now. Of course my death would come on Earth. Of course the child would be here. Of course it would be Visitor 3 who takes my life. I'm too weak to locate the time matrix now. I will die here, but I have left a legacy. Visitor 3 thinks he has won our long, private war, but I have left a surprise behind. I have given the morphing power to 5 human youths. I know that in doing this I have broken Andalite law. I know this action will be condemned by all my people, but the Yeerks are here on Earth, Visitor 3 is here. The humans must have a chance to resist. The human race cannot follow the Yeerks the way the Harbinger race did. I've given this power to 5 young humans. Children, really, but sometimes children can accomplish amazing things. I have no choice but to hope, because it was I who created Visitor 3, I who caused the abomination. I can't go peacefully by death knowing I created a creature who enslaved the human race. I came to this place, this empty construction site, looking for a weapon I know is hidden here, but there is no time now. No time. The Visitor is here. He is laughing at my weakness, savoring his victory. This is the Hirak Dalest of Elfangor Cyril Shamtul, Andalite Prince. I open my mind to the ritual of death. I open my mind and allow my memories, my secrets could be recorded by the computer. This is not just a message to my own people, but if someday humans will read it as well, because humans are also my people. Lauren and the boy I just met, but not for the first time. Chapter 1, 21 years before. The Yeerks were loose. Like some terrifying disease, they spread their evil from planet to planet. They took over species after species and crushed all resistance. Their spire-like pool ships roamed through the galaxy. Their armies of Taxans and Harbinger, all under the control of the Yeerk slugs, rampaged, killing, butchering, and enslaving, annihilating entire planets. Only we Andalites stood against them, but we have been caught off guard. Our mighty dome ships, each more than a match for anything Yeerks have, were spread too thin. Our spies, even though use top-secret alien more technology in order to penetrate their secrets. For 5 years, our princes have fought the visitors of the Yeerk Empire. They said the war could go on for another 50 years. Another 100 years. We were outnumbered. We'd fought many battles and lost too many, but arrogant as I was, confident if only I could get to the fight, I could make a difference. I, Elfangor, is going to become a great hero, a prince, a warrior. I was posted as an Arnish, a cadet to the dome ship Star Sword. But so far, after 6 months in space looking for a elusive York task force, I've not exactly proved myself to be a great hero. In fact, I proved myself to be clumsy, slow-witted, and possibly hopeless, at least according to my instructors. Arnish Elfangor, how many times did I tell you the killing blow should be as graceful as it is fast? So for he yelled to stop speaking loud enough to hold half the ship. Half the ship probably heard him. I stood facing him, trying to stand light and easy in my 4 hooves like I was supposed to. At the same time, I think about where my weight was centered, where the tilt of my upper body signaled when I was going to strike, where the grass floor was uneven, where my hands were out of the way, and about a million other things a warrior should know for tail fighting. Sulfur was bigger than I was. He was a full warrior, I was a lowly Arnish, a warrior cadet. If this had been an actual battle, it would have sliced me 2 different ways in less than a second. Maybe. Sometimes I thought it'd be faster and better if it was a real fight, not just a lesson. I was sure if my life depended on it, I could win. But in any case, Sulfur was not my enemy. He was my teacher. Watch my eyes, not my tail, he said. My main eyes, you nitwit, not my stalk eyes. Keep your main eyes on mine, your stalk eyes on my tail. I watched his main eyes, but it wasn't easy. His left eye had a huge scar. I tried to focus on my thoughts on nothing, it's just like he taught me. Your mind will never know when it's time to strike. Only your instinct can guide you, reminded me, and suddenly, whap! I fired muscle on my tail, the blade tip cracked the air, it moved so fast. I could barely see as it struck. It arched over my head toward his face, I thought, hey, maybe we'll end up with a new scar. If I landed a blow on him, I'd hear every poor Arnish ever suffered under him, and then, swoop, whap! He blocked my tail with his own, turned it aside about a tenth of a second, delivered 3 lightning blows. At each side of my head, and a third left his razor blade pressed up against my throat. The blows stopped just a hair's breadth in cutting my skin. It was so much a twitch he could remove my head from my shoulders. Not bad, Arnish Elfangor said, I laughed, not bad at all. That strike of yours could have almost hit me. If I was asleep. He laughed again and pulled his tail away. Remember, don't think about it, just do it. You're too intellectual, you think too much. You should have been a scientist, not a warrior. There's no time for thought in a fight. The only time for your training to join with your instinct. I guess even you must have forgotten that once, I muttered. I read the words inside out of my head. He turned his stalk eyes toward me, a dangerous expression. What'd you say, Arnish? Nothing, just, nothing. I stared, but I stared at the scar below his eye the whole time. Oh, you noticed my little scar. Yes, it's quite a nasty cut. Do you know how I got it? I shook my head. What was I doing getting smart with so far? What's the matter with me? Was I insane? I got this scar from my own teacher. He wasn't as sweet as understanding as I am. He didn't like uppity Arnish. The old warrior laughed his own wit, turned away, and went galloping across the grass, holding his tail as high as Andalite half his age would. I breathed a huge sigh of relief and looked around the dome to see where anyone was watching me be humiliated. The dome of the dome shows a circular area about a third of a mile across, filled with grass, trees, ground rushes, and flowers. There's a lake in the middle of a stream that runs across the circumference, and much like home as it can be, you don't think it run across any well-kept area in the home world, but you look up, you see you're in space protected only by a clear plastic bubble, a dome. I saw the other warriors running up across the grass, feeding, playing, practicing their skills, but none seemed to actually be watching me. I replayed the fight in my head. Had I known the exact second strike, would it given me away? What was the matter with me? Was I actually mad he was faster than me? Of course he was a better fighter than I was, with more battles I can imagine. But it still made me angry. I didn't like people laughing at me, and I didn't like losing. Through my stalk I saw someone coming up behind me. He had hidden by a strand of trees. I recognized him immediately, of course. Arbron. We're the only 2 Arnish on the ship. Great, more bad news. I didn't like him very much. He's very competitive, and he still never seemed to take anything seriously. Well, hello, Elfangor. Having fun with the old Yurt killer? Hello, Arnish Arbron. I said to still play a sound with my father. I don't think it's very respectable to refer to him as the old Yurt killer. He's a full warrior after all, and our own personal combat instructor. He laughed at me. Yeah, right, Elfangor, like you're so respectful. Teach me to be as respectful as you, please. He laughed again. I started to get angrier. It was bad enough having Sulfur laugh at me, but at least he outranked me. But Oberon was just as lowly as I was. Lowlier because I had 4 days seniority over him. This is a dome ship, not a playfield, I said. He kicked light the grass on hoof as a gesture of contempt, and he said the insult that went with it. Elfangor, where are you going to get your hooves back on the grass and out of the air? Some of us actually care about being better fighters. The people need us. These are evil times. He laughed again. You don't fool me. You're not some mighty prince here, just another scared, confused Arnish on his first big, deep space mission. And by the way, you shift weight to your left hind leg when you're ready to strike. That's how he knew. I was getting ready to say something really crushing, but then there was an announcement. It was a direct beam thought-speaking summons. Arnish, Elfangor, and Oberon to the battle bridge. I stared at Oberon, and he stared at me. We were frozen. Oberon was totally forgotten, who was busy being shocked and horrified. Because this was impossible. Neither of us ever been to the battle bridge. It's where the captain was, and the captain is like one of the ancient gods. Captains don't even look at Arnishes. What do we do, Oberon asked anxiously. I don't know, but it must have been really out of line. We're in trouble. We're in definite trouble. Chapter 2. A dome ship is filled with a dome on one end, and far away, far back, there are 3 huge engines, zero space engines, you probably know how powerful those are. Connecting the domes to the engines is a long shaft. Inside is a place where everyone has their quarters, their private areas. For Arish's, the quarters are tiny. Very tiny. If you want to turn around, you have to go back out into the hallway. In my quarters, I have holograms of my father and mother, of course, plus a wish flower representing the little brother I'll be getting in a few years. The electorate voted to allow more children born since we are at war now. Oh, so they have the government decide if they have kids. That's interesting. They say if the war goes on for long enough, that's about it. Some families may even have 3 or 4 children. Personally, I don't think it'll come to that, and even having 1 sibling's bad enough. Now, in addition to the morning ritual and the evening, we shall do a wish flower ritual, and you have to do the ritual with the wish flower course to my tiny quarters. And you can imagine how impossible that is. My entire back half sticks out in the hallway and people jostling past as I'm chanting. We welcome our hopes embodied, we welcome a new branch of the tree, we welcome, and so on. It's not easy being an Arish. Naturally, warriors and princes get bigger quarters, and the captain's quarters so big you can practically play driftball in there. Oh, they have sports. Driftball sounds like some sort of a zero-G ball game, which sounds more interesting than regular basketball, at least. But the captain usually isn't in his quarters, usually on a battle bridge. That's where Arbor and I are heading as fast as our host could carry us. We're dead, I said. There's no way Captain can call us to the bridge unless we're in huge trouble. Yeah, maybe it's something good though, Arbor suggested. Maybe he wants to tell us we're doing well in our studies. Yeah, or maybe he wants us our advice, I suggested sarcastically. Captain Feyorn, the hero of 1,000 space elves, probably wants the advice of a pair of Arnish. All while we were running past closed doors of his private quarters and storerooms and plasma conduits, our hooves clicked on the hard, rough-textured floor. A prince at his quarters I practically rammed down. Sorry, I yelled when we called up the battle bridge. The prince rolled his eyes and shook his head, but he knew when the captain calls, you don't waste time. As we neared the battle bridge, we saw more and more people in the hall. We weren't the only ones heading, and as I started to notice some fire pilots moving off to the fighter bays. You can always tell when you see a fire pilot. They have a swagger about them, like there's a special light that seems to shine on them. When I have a warrior, I'm going to be a fighter pilot. There's going to be a battle, everyone said. Yerks, I said, we're going to burn some yerks. I hope I sounded tough and fierce. I barreled into the battle bridge, just a tactical officer, Prince Neskor bellowed, where in the dark sun are those 2 Arnishes? Right here, sir. Here, sir, Irwan echoed. Tactical officer, the TO, looked at us on maybe a couple pieces of dung, started to swiftly turn to the captain. Captain, they're here. Of course, the captain already knew we were here. They say Captain Feyorn practically seek through walls. He knows everything going on his ship. He stood in the center of the room with a TO on his right and Prince Brior, commander of all fire squadrons, on his left. The room was circular, with bright monitors glowing, computer screens reeling off data. Holographic monitors create images in midair, and there are sound speech input tags and thought speak computer warnings. Warriors working on a battle bridge often use hand signals to themselves so thought speak noise will become a jumble. At the front of the battle bridge was a large holographic image showing the space around us. We were in normal space, not zero space, so the background was black filled with bright stars. Magnify, the TO said. The hologram of space grew more detailed. Suddenly, if it was actual stars each big as my fist were hovering inside a battle bridge. I selected target and magnify, the tactical officer said. Now the hologram just showed a slice of a single star, a yellow average star. I glanced at the readout above the hologram. It showed the star had 9 planets, gas giants on our edge, smaller and tighter orbit. The 6 is the front and center display. It had a beautiful set of rings. There he is, Prince Brior said. He was calm, but you could tell he had like a predator looking at prey. I searched the hologram of space for a clue, and I saw it, a tiny bright pointer moving against the background. Was the Yerk ship? I think we have a Skritna raider, the captain said. Yes, Captain, Tio agreed. He's accelerating. He'll be over to zero space in 20 minutes. This show we came from a 3rd planet system. On screen, Captain Feyorn said. Suddenly the hologram shifted, looking at a small planet with a single large moon. The planet was blue with swirls of white and landmasses are brown and green. What do we have on this planet? There's a sentient species there that achieved orbital spaceflight and landed on their moon. Sensors show presence of nuclear weapons, and picking up transmission in various parts of the electromagnetic spectrum. All else probably a level 6 civilization. I would recommend... The captain cut him up by one finger. Then the captain turned his head and his main eyes toward us. He looked right at me. Right at me. I felt my blood turn to sludge and my brain grind to a halt. Tell me, Arish's situation. We have a Skritna raider leaving a level 6 civilization. 20 minutes to be safe in zero space. What do you recommend? This wasn't happening. He was really asking my advice? Clearly I was dreaming. What do I recommend? Pulling a knife edge of panic. Dispatch fires on intercept course? Is that a question or a statement? I try not to faint, sucking in air. Dispatch fires intercept, send 2 on intercept course and return behind a chase vector. And you, looking at Alberon, what do we do when we intercept, and why? Yes, Pluto as well. The Skritna are smugglers and renegades and sometimes serve the Yerks, so we board them and check for any violations perfectly, like even rehearsed. Then he blew it, and if they put up a fight, we put some tail into them. The captain, prince, and Tio everywhere on the bridge all stare at him like he's insane, which he obviously was. You don't just say, put some tail in them to the captain. That's what you say in a school guard fight. The other Prince Brior Untitled Officer and shrugged. I guess we better do it too, Arsh is saying. The big one was ready to faint, and everyone thinks he's you, Brior. I gotta laugh everyone on bridge. Lunch fires, Captain said. Oh, and those ships are so cramped inside, I better send on a couple of our people who can move around in there. Now, who do we have that's small enough to fit inside a Skritnoff freighter? And suddenly I realized everyone's looking at us, and I realized we were both younger and smaller than everyone else. That's when I did almost faint. The captain's gonna send us into battle. To be fair, they aren't Yeerks themselves, so it makes sense to send them because they're probably not as dangerous. So it would be like a sort of a test run, so to speak. See how they handle it, that sort of thing. Okay, Chapter 3. Okay, who takes the helm and who takes weapons, Oberon said. I have 4 days seniority over you, said Cooley. I'll take the helm. I can see you want to argue. He wanted to fly, of course. There's no chance gonna miss out on flying my first combat mission. No chance. And I did have seniority. Okay, you fly, I'll shoot. Not that we'll be actually doing any shooting. The inside of the fire wasn't exactly roomy. It was an older model built for 2, but still not exactly big. Appears they give us a little piece of junk Model 14 to fly. So standard controls like I've never seen them before. What do you expect to give us, a brand new 22? For a minute I forgot this was my first mission. I caught a glance and the two of us almost burst out laughing. This is great, I said. I just wish it was Yeerks and not some old Skritnoff, Oberon said. I closed my main eyes, seeing all my stock eyes open, and wanted to focus. I trained on fires, of course. I was pretty good as a pilot, but still I was going to be flying alongside Prince Brior and his personal squadron. Everyone there was a great fire pilot, and Brior just went fly a fighter for a black hole and back out. I deeply didn't want anything to go wrong. Thought how humiliated I'd be if I missed a turn or something was too awful to think about. Power up, I told the systems, prepare for launch. I could feel the old fighter come alive. The monitors glowed, the floor hummed and vibrated for my legs. I could touch the screen with my fingers, the viewport became transparent. We could see directly out now through an actual window, not just a screen. Of course, we're still in the fire base, so I don't show us anything to see. Automatic launch sequence begins in 10 seconds, the prince called. Simultaneous drop. Go for a burn on my mark. Acceleration standard. Weapons powered, Oberon told me. 5 seconds to launch, computer said. Please don't let me screw this up, I prayed. I thought I said it silently until I noticed Oberon nodding in agreement. It occurs to me when you speak by thinking, keeping your thoughts private might be a little difficult. Especially when you're young and inexperienced like they are. 2 seconds, the computer prompted. Hold on, I said. Whoosh! We were blowing out the hatch on the black space ahead of us. 4 fires on Model 22 dropped from the bottom of the dome ship's fire bay. Intercept team, go to burn, the prince said to Olcom. 2 of the fires lit up their engines when a brilliant blue glow. 2 fires flashed out of sight into the black of space. I waved my fingers just millimeters out the engine control pad. I wasn't going to miss my cue. Chase team, go to burn, the prince said. I punched the control pad like we'd been kicked in the back. Shoo! We were out of there. Unfortunately, taking off so fast, we shot right past the prince's own fighter. Oh no, over the computer match velocity, something I should have done to start with. Hello, Evangor, hello, you've got these old Mile 14s so faster from a cold start, Urban pointed out. Next thing I heard in my mind was a prince. You may want to ease back just a little, Arnish Elfangor, he said. I was relieved didn't actually reprimand me, I was burning with embarrassment. There it was, my big chance to look like a veteran, I look like an amateur. I maneuvered my fire back into formation behind the air of chase fighters. Oberon brought a certain later up on a holographic imager. It was very different from an Andalite ship. Our fires are elongated ovals with 2 long cylindrical engines attached to stubby wings on either side. Our main weapon, or shredder, arced overhead much like an Andalite tail. So basically it's a flying disc with little wings on it and a big scorpion tail thing that shoots the actual cannon. The Skritnoff ship was round with tapered sides, like a fat disc. You could hardly even see where the engines were, and there were blinking colored lights all around it. I guess they find it attractive or something. So, this is mildly important. The Skritnoff ships look like classic UFOs. Intercept in place came to report from the 2 intercept ships. They gone into a dangerous maximum burn to get well out in front of this ship and cut it off. Now we just sneak up calmly behind them. And then, what the? Sir, the second Skritnoff ship out there is hidden from sensors by rings of the plant. Repeat, there's a second raider. Prince Brior rapped at oars. Okay, you 2 go on intercept a new target, everyone else with me. Looked at Oberon, we both nodded. It was getting more complicated. We could actually have a fight. And suddenly a bright blue engine flame shot from the bottom of his nearest Skritnoff. Guess what they themselves look like? I don't recall, but I recall they have at least 2 different forms or something. We'll see shortly, I'm sure. He's running, the prince said. He's not calm, you could tell he's at sight. It wasn't a fire pilot alive who would enjoy a good chase. The Skritnoff ship hauled, and we hauled after it, and my total shock he fired his weapons. Look out, Oberon yelled. A thin beam of the greenish light lanced toward the prince's fire, and it missed. Whoa, the prince laughed. That woke me up. Return fire, but only if you can hit the engine pod underneath. Repeat, aim only for the engines, maybe innocent creatures on that ship. A split second later, Prince fired a miss, his wingman fired and also missed, and he occurred to me Oberon would actually want to take the risk of doing so, but then he said, So Elfangor, how do I see how fast the old tub will accelerate? I didn't need to be asked twice. I punched up maximum burn, went to 1/10 light speed in about 3 seconds. The acceleration was outrageous, the compensators were slow and we were thrown back against the bulkhead. I fought to get on my feet and on the controls. I renewed my thoughts speaking to the computer. Boost to compensators. The computer adjusted. And we climbed painfully to our feet. Oberon reached his weapon station and took aim. I heard the hum of his shredder power followed quickly by a sound of firing. Yes, yes, Oberon yelled. The Sherbean sliced through space and burned away a section of their engines. The blue engine flame died instantly. It was the most beautiful thing I've seen at that point in my life, but it seems I felt a wave of jealousy at Oberon taking the shot and not me. Well, hey, you're the one who wanted the pilot, so it's not really his fault. Good job, Prince Bureau said. Nice flying, nice shooting. Of course, no compliments because we were Irish. I mean, for regular pilots, it would have been no big deal, but who cared? He said we did a good job. He said good job, Oberon said to me. He actually did say it, right? I wasn't imagining things. The prince said a good job, I confirmed, relishing the words. At that moment, I just loved being alive. I even loved Oberon, as annoying as he was, and that's why I joined the military. That's why I came in Irish. That's what it was about. Alright, little Irish, it's actually now you've given us all a lesson in good shooting, so that's how you board an enemy ship. Don't forget to download their onboard computer. Is either be qualified for exodiology? Irish Oberon is a very qualified exodiologist, said truthfully. He gave me a dirty look. Well, you are, I said defensively. See, it's kind of a slight insult to say Irish is good at computers. It's like a technician thing, not a warrior thing. Even though warriors are supposed to be good at all kinds of science and art as well as fighting. Good, he said, and don't bang your salts on low ceilings in there. Yes, sir, I replied, no problem. I do find it interesting they have a culture where they sort of mildly look down on people that are good at computers when they're warriors or whatever. Like sort of a caste thing, but at the same time they know that's stupid. But it's still there. But it's stupid. I was on top of the universe. I was a hero in waiting. Practically a prince already. The war of the earth to be over just as soon as I get in the game. To be young. Klingon butt aliens. Yeah, exactly. I was a fool. There it is. There it is. Chapter 4. I guess most people know about the Skritnaw, but in case you don't, I'll tell you what I do know. They don't care about what anyone else in the galaxy thinks of them. They don't belong to the York Empire, they aren't one of our allies, they don't care about laws or customs or anything. All the Skritnaw care about is collecting things and owning things. Skritnaw are unusual in another way. They're actually two different races. The Skrit look like huge insects almost as large as an Andalite. They have 14 legs and 6 sets of antennae and aren't really very smart. But the Skrit each eventually we become human. A year later, out of the dead Skrit pops out on Na. The Na are a different story. They have 4 slender legs, sometimes they rip and walk on just 2, using the other legs as hands. They have large heads like Andalite heads and only 2 huge eyes. So they look kind of like the gray aliens, yeah. Except now imagine them going on all 4s. The Skritnaw are constantly going to peaceful planets and kidnapping local species, sometimes for medical experience and they just fly around and let them go, but often they carry local creatures away to add to zoos on their homeworld. Like I said, they're a weird species. No one understands them. Personally, I don't think they understand themselves. I pulled our fire alongside a damaged Skritnaw ship and turned on a tractor beam to hold the 2 ships tightly together. The Skritnaw decided to make it easy, decided to figure they'd make us mad enough. They made us mad enough, and they're no match for Andalite power. I married my hatch to a Skritnaw hatch and popped it open. You married the hatch. That's an interesting turn of phrase. They're grays and flying saucers who are duck people. Exactly. I'm very curious about why they do things, but I don't think we're really going to get an answer beyond this, which is fine, I suppose. I married my hatch to Skritnaw hatch and popped it open. I equalized gravities and Marsh's bullies I couldn't to catch a ship at Oberon just behind me. There was smoke in the airship, and there seemed to be storage boxes strewn here and there. 2 clumsy Skrit and humble lumber paths kicking through debris. The ceiling pressed low, and I had to dock my head to risk bruising my stalk eyes. A pair of cocoon Skrit were more or less glued to a corner of the ceiling. One looked about ready to hatch. There were 3 Na I could see. The Na captain was pressing against his command console. He looked scared, but not at me. He's going and a bizarre creature had Skritnaw hand weapon, modified Dirk Drake on being pointed at the Na captain. Bizarre creature stood a bit short of me, was incredible stood on just 2 legs. Just 2, it had arms, but I could see it didn't use them to walk. They wouldn't have been long enough. Its face is the same size as mine, but rounder, with 2 small bluish eyes on the front of its face, and a third of the face is split open horizontally. Many species have such openings. They're called mouths. Okay, but when you frame it like that, it does sound weird. Its body had no fur, but a brightly colored skin is seen hanging loosely in some areas. The upper body was covered in loose, almost billowy white skin with tiny pastel patterns. The 2 legs were covered in a rough textured blue skin to stop suddenly at the hooves. The hooves are white and don't look like thick threads or cables laced together. What caught my eye was the hair around its head, long and wavy and gold as the yellow sun. Freeze, horse boy, bizarre creature said made sounds with its mouth to try to beam on me. Well, move and I'll pull a trigger. I don't know what it's gonna do, but I'm willing to bet you won't like it. Of course, all I heard was gibberish. The translator chip for all its members of Andalite military have implanted in their heads requires a few minutes to understand new languages. Some it never does get right, but fortunately, it's all speech to understand or thoughts speak that work on a level beyond mere words. Be careful, Andalite friend, the Knot Captain said. They are savage, violent beings. Crazy, wild. Oh yes, this female's a vicious beast. Better to kill her, even better let us cage her again. Yes, that'd be best. As soon as you mistakenly fired on, she sprang up and grabbed my weapon. Wild and dangerous. Oh yes. My translate chip handled the Knot language easily, but I didn't bother to answer. Everyone knew Script Knot will lie to anyone about anything. And the captain winked on his big eyes at me as if he and I were on the same side. His fellow soldier officers all looked scared. The script went on with a simple news like nothing was happening at all. And to be honest, I didn't know what to do. I was as confused as the script Knot. No one seemed to have a clue as bizarre to the creature herself. Talk to her, Oberon suggested. Use your charm, Elfangor. Whoever you are, whatever you are, don't fire that weapon. Put it down. Yeah, right. Wait a minute, I can hear you in my head, but you're not really talking. Suddenly, a translate chip had heard enough and write an instantaneous translation. I can understand her. I'm in charge here, I said firmly. Drop the weapon. Nope, I don't think so, horseboy. I'm tired of being kidnapped and dried up by giant cockroaches and little green men from Mars. Excuse me, we're here to rescue you. Exactly, what this script now have done to you is wrong. That's why we captured this ship. I spoke like I would to a child. Obviously, the species is primitive. They didn't even have tails. What little green men over on asked? They aren't green, the Knot are gray. The female narrator already near her eyes, the Dracon beam wavered. I already captured the ship where you two came along, me and the other guy. We're both kids who shows you these Martian jerks and all that tough. He's in the back knocked out, the other guy I mean. But I grabbed his gun away from Twinkie here. He jerked her head in the direction of the Knot captain. The translated ship had no translation for the word Twinkie, evidently some kind of word for alien. Well, we don't mean you any harm, I said as calmly as possible. How about this idea? You keep the beam, just don't point it. The Dracon beam, just don't point at anyone. Shoot the weapon. It's called a Dracon beam, huh? What's it do? Oberon answered for yes, she shut up. It fires an energy beam and makes an exceedingly painful death, so I would really prefer you don't fire it. Oh, a phaser like the old Star Trek show. Can't believe it took off out the air. Now it's just reruns. I didn't understand because I had no idea what she was talking about. I looked at Oberon, he shook his head. He didn't understand either. Translated ships have limits. If you come with us, we'll treat you well and return you to your home planet. Earth? Is that the name of the third planet of the system? Yeah. And you are an Earther? Human, that's what we are, humans, me and the other guy. And we are Andalites. My name is Elfangor, and this is Arbron. Arbron had gone over to the script Knot control panel down a copy of all the computer files Prince Brior ordered. He was standard proceduring aboard an alien ship. He looked like centaurs with scorpion tails, extra eyeballs. Seemed to hesitate, suddenly turned to Drake and me around, handle first. Thank you, I said. I reached to take the beam from her, my fingers brushed hers. For some reason I looked at her hair. My name is Lauren, she said. This is all kind of amazing. Most humans don't even believe in aliens, but well, here you are, real and all, unless I'm dreaming. Do humans dream? I asked her, surprised. I do, every night. So do I, but I guess we have very different dreams. Then she smiled. It's a thing humans do when they turn the corners of their mouths upward. Maybe, she said. Maybe not. Chapter 5. We led Lauren over a fire and carried the second human across. He was unconscious, bright red blood coming from a cut over his left eye. Red blood, Oberon said. Red? Yuck. I was trying to have more cheer, but to tell you the truth, the blood that color creeped me out as well. I didn't think humans looked ugly or anything, not just Skritter. The Taxons is a seriously ugly species, nor did they look dangerous or mature. Mostly they looked funny. I'd never seen a species walk on two legs without even able to help balance. Oberon said I was thinking, all it takes is one little push and I fall right over. Earth must be hysterical, humans falling forward and back all over the place. No one's so primitive, they probably spend all the time just trying to stand up. Wow. When I was back to Don't Shoot, and the second human woke up, we left the script not trying to figure out how to fix their ship. That was their problem. Hey, no one told them to shoot at us, right? The human moaned. He was larger than Lauren, maybe 2 or 3 inches. His hair was brown, not golden, it was cut short. His eyes were also brown, not blue. Lauren went to him and bent her legs such a way she could kneel beside him. Oberon and I exchanged a look in amazement. That'd be hard to kneel like that and not fall. Hey kid, you okay? Lauren asked. Then when human opened his eyes and blinked, he stared at me. What happened? He shrugged. Now we're a different bunch of aliens. Who would have guessed there's so many people zipping around outer space? You okay? That big cockroach popped you pretty good back there. You have no need to fear, I said gently. You're safe now. The human felt his wound, looked at her red blood, seeing almost as grossed out as I was. But he climbed to his feet, which involved using his hands, I noticed. They seem to have stronger hands than we do. So an Andalite couldn't do that, like pull themselves up with their hands like that. But to be fair, they have, 4 legs, they're horse-shaped and everything, so it'd be harder to do that in general. I am Elfangor, and this is Oberon. We are Andalites. We return you to your home planet. He nodded slowly. Telepathy. He used telepathy to talk. He began to travel to my sock eyes back to his face and his tail. That tail's a weapon, isn't it? Is it poised or just cut? I decided I didn't like this human as much. I didn't like him at all. I politely told you my name, human, I said coldly. Now I require your name. He gave me a look that seemed insolent, though who can tell what an alien facial expression is? My name is Hedrick, actually. I've heard my last name. Most people call me by last name, Chapman. I think these Andalites are okay, Lauren said Chapman. They're better looking than the last bunch, and I promised to shut up, he snapped, not interested in the opinion of a kid. Oh, okay. Kid, hey big jerk, who was that got the weapon after their ship stopped moving? Me. And who was it that was clinging in the back crying for mercy? You. Anyway, but surprised you're even a year older than me. His face grew pink, a fascinating thing to watch. He clenched his jaw tightly, and now it seems like heroics are pointless. We're prisoners again, a feeling we're gonna won't be grabbing guns away from these guys. Suddenly he lunged forward to a drake on being in my hand. Without thinking, I whipped my tail forward and pressed the blade against his throat. Chapman laughed. See that? See how fast he was? Couldn't even see the tail move. I gave him an insolent look. Would you say your species is called Andalites? While feeling you guys are a little more dangerous than you pretend to be, despite your polite talk and promises. I felt like a fool, not for the first time today, that you and Chapman have been testing me. When you prepared the dock with a dome ship over reminded me, I went for a docking procedure moving to fire back inside the fire bay. I concentrated on my work, but I was upset. I didn't like the human Chapman. I didn't like his suspicion. After all, we rescued him from a future as a zoo animal in a script-not homeworld. He should be grateful. But maybe that's the way humans are. They're a species that can't handle anyone helping them. They'd rather die and be in debt. But judging by lore, and not all humans are like that. It's not your problem, Elfangor told himself. Just turn him over to the captain. It's not your problem at all. But I was wrong. The humans were my problem. In fact, I was about to have a lot of problems.